Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. A few weeks ago, I did a webinar where I showed you how to create paper snowflakes that can be appliqued. I decided to challenge myself to recreate one of those in a pieced block that would be suitable for foundation-friendly piecing. The image that I'm going to start with for this project will be available on my blog post, and you're going to want to just import that in to Electric Quilt. I've already done that in this project. So I'm going to view the project sketchbook, select the Photos tab, find the snowflake image, and this one is Snowflake 6, and select Edit to Block Worktable. Select a new block, Pieced Easy Draw block, and then select Drawing Tools. Under the Precision toolbar, change the block width and height to 6, the snaps to 4x4, and for snapping options, the only thing I want turned on is Snap to Nodes of Drawing. Select the tracing image and select Upper Left Fit. Notice that if you click on the image, the dotted line surrounding it is 2 by 3 inches. We're going to click, hold, and drag the center so that the left side of the dotted line is at 3 inches. Turn the image lightness for tracing to the far left to make sure that we can see those lightly drawn lines. Then select Drawing Tools and zoom in on the image. Select the Line tool and trace the lines within the arc. Once you've done that, select Convert Selected Segments to Guides. Under Snapping Options, turn on Snap to Grid and turn off Snap to Node, and select Fit to Worktable. Draw a vertical line at 3 inches and a horizontal line at 3 inches. Select Color and go back to Draw, and with the Pick tool, select the vertical line and select Clone, and then select Rotate. Under Degrees, type in 30 and select OK. Now you'll see that this will snap to the center node. However, I'm breaking an easy draw rule in that it's not connected on the other end. So to fix that, I need to resize. So click on Resize and type in 125% both horizontal and vertical and select OK. Now drag the crosshairs in the center so the node at the lower left snaps to the center. Go to Color, back to Draw, and now we have the outside edges for our paper piecing segment. With the Pick tool, select and delete the other 3 horizontal and vertical lines, and zoom in on the segment. Under Snapping Options, turn off Snap to Grid and turn on Snap to Node. Select the Line tool and draw extended lines from the left to the right, and I want to touch the starting and stopping points on the guidelines. I'm going to do the same thing between the 2 diamond segments at the bottom. Select Color, go back to Draw. For the next line, we're going to start at a node on the right, and we're going to cross the guideline on the left. And now we will draft the sub-segments. Let's zoom in on the top. We will draw extended lines, crossing only 2 existing lines. Draw the next line, crossing 2 existing lines, one of them being the line just drawn. Repeat the process for the third line. We'll break the rule for crossing existing lines when one of the endpoints is a node. Select Color, go back to Draw, and now we will zoom in on the next segment and start at a node, cross a line and start at another node and cross the line we just drew. Select color, go back to draw, and for the final segment we just have one line to trace where we will cross two existing lines. Select color, select fit to worktable, and color the snowflake with a white. Select Add to Project Sketchbook. Return to the Draw tab, and now hide show the image for tracing. With the Pick tool, drag a box to select everything. Select Clone, flip left to right, and drag the crosshairs and position so they snap together. Zoom in to make sure we have a single node at the bottom. Select the Color tab and color the left side. And select Add to Project Sketchbook. Select the Draw tab, and with the Pick tool, drag a box to select everything. Select Clone, and under Rotate, change rotation to 60 degrees and select OK. Drag the crosshairs and position so they snap together. Now these are not going to be as easy to snap because there's more nodes. So I find it useful to zoom in, and if you can see I have more than one node at that corner point, I'm going to reposition, and I may even zoom in again to make sure where things should be snapping we have single nodes. Select the Color tab. Now, if you end up with a polygon error, go ahead and cancel, select OK, go back to Draw. The polygon error is probably because of duplications in this shared line. So what I find useful is to select everything along that shared line and select Delete. So we want to have just one line segment rather than two. The polygon error is probably because the line segments are not exactly on top of each other. Select the Color tab. Notice the polygon error is now gone, and select Add to Project Sketchbook. Now go back to Draw, and I'm going to do a Fit to Worktable, and I will drag a box to select everything and do a clone, and under Rotate, I'm going to change to 120 degrees and select OK. I'm going to position those to snap to node and zoom in to make sure I have single nodes. And then I'm going to clone, rotate 120, and drag the crosshairs. And again, position those to snap. And again, I will zoom in and then go to Color. Select Cancel followed by OK and return to Draw. Now I'm going to zoom in on the new shared line segments and select each of the duplicate lines and select Delete. And so then go to Color, and notice the polygon error is now disappeared. Go back to Draw. We need to extend the lines for each of the segments. So with the Pick tool, select the line next to the ending node because the angle is correct, clone, and move it to snap to the node. Now repeat this for all of the other segments that are not connected to an outside edge. For the next line, the adjoining segment is too short to extend, so we can either clone and resize or just select another line on that same longer line, clone, and position at the bottom. Let's quickly finish up the last remaining extensions required. Then select the Color tab, go back to Draw, and make sure that all of those segments that are outside the block are deleted. And now we can go to Color and recolor the block. If you have bleeding, and bleeding is where you color one patch and another patch colors at the same time, it means that something is not quite connected correctly. How I fix those issues is I will go back to Draw and I will use the Edit tool and click on the segments that are adjoining the bleeding segments and just drag them away and let them snap back into position. And we're just trying to see if we can get things snapped together so that there is no longer a bleed. And we can test that by going back to color and coloring one of the patches and making sure that it doesn't flow into another patch at the same time. And then select Print and Export, followed by Foundation. Under Sections, we can see where we could have 3 separate segments for each section. Now, if EQ does not give us that, we can go ahead and section and number ourselves. Or alternatively, we could close this, view the project sketchbook, and select our double segment and select Edit. I'm going to turn on Snap to Grid and draw 2 extra lines so we don't have an inside corner. Select the Color tab and color the block. And then select Print and Export, select Foundation. Now, if you want to make any changes to sectioning, you only have a few sections to redo. Once you have the sections where you want it, go ahead and do a preview. Delete the pink patches, reposition the others, and print out 6 copies. Thanks so much for watching. I'm hoping this tutorial has inspired you to create your own foundation-friendly paper snowflakes. I would love to see pictures of any of your designs.